Welcome back. I hope you're doing great. In this video, we'll understand what is referential integrity constraints. Before we really get into a referential integrity constraint, let us answer few questions. If I ask you a question, do we have only one table in a database? You may be thinking such a silly question. Yes, it is. As we know, any database would definitely have more than one table for sure. Otherwise, there is no point in creating the database itself. So that is the reason it is called as a relationship. Okay. So the table itself is called as a relation, and we have multiple tables as a part of any of the databases. As we know, each relation would have a data. When I say relation, I'm talking about a table. Table is nothing but a relation. So in a relationship, don't think about a girlfriend boyfriend relationship, live-in relationship, and all those things. I'm talking about a relationship in the database between the different tables. In relationship, data is linked between two or more tables. But how is it achieved? It is achieved by having a foreign key reference a primary key. Just to reiterate, in relationships, data is linked between two or more table. This is achieved by having a foreign key reference a primary key in another table. So the table which is having a foreign key is called as a referencing table, and the table which has a primary key is called as a reference table. And one more terminology is this table is also called as a, you can say, child table. This is called as a parent table. Different terminologies. So we understood relationship is achieved by foreign key referencing a primary key. Can you think of a situation if there is an issue with the primary key? What if primary key changes? There is always a possibility, right? So we need to ensure that data on both sides of the relationship remain intact. And who will take care of that? That will be taken care by a referential integrity. So what is referential integrity? Referential integrity ensures the accuracy and consistency of a data within a relationship. We already spoke what exactly is a relationship in the data terms. Referential integrity also ensures that relationship between your database tables remains synchronized during the data modifications. Very, very important part. So this ensures that table remain synchronized if there are any modifications to the data in the tables involved in the relationship. So we understood what is referential integrity. But how do we enforce the referential integrity? Referential integrity can be enforced by a combination of primary key and foreign key. It also ensures that as a part of the referential integrity constraints, we can always ensure there is a valid relationship between the two tables, and value in one table refers the existing value in another table. That's the whole point of the relationship, right? That is ensured by the referential integrity. And one more very, very important point is primary key and foreign key have the same data types coming from the same domain. For example, let us say primary key is of int type, then obviously foreign key should be of int type. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. They'll not be able to refer each other. Wonderful. Let us take an example now. Okay. So here we have a table called department. The primary key of the table is department ID, and we have another table called student. The primary key of a student is the student ID. Now, if we want to establish a relationship between these two tables, primary key of this table should become a foreign key of this table. That is how we are able to establish a relationship between a department and student table. So we also need to enforce the referential integrity here. If you observe clearly, there are some values like D1, D2, D3 as a part of the department ID. Look at this. D5 is not there as a part of the primary key of the department. So what happens is, as a part of the referential integrity constraint, this is not allowed because it is not there in a parent table. Let us look at the same example syntactically. So first we are creating a department table where we have department ID, department name, and department zone. There we can insert the different records into the department table, and we have another table called student RI, which has student ID, student name, department ID, and primary key is a student ID here. So as we already know, we are trying to establish a relationship between the student RI table and the department table through a foreign key, that is a department ID. And we are saying it references the department ID of a department table. Then how does the referential integrity is maintained here? Whenever you want to insert these records successfully get inserted into the student table. D1, D3, and D2 are there as a part of the department table. And one more important thing is, even a record with the null value also gets inserted here. But if you want to insert a table with D5, that is not allowed as a part of the referential integrity. Wonderful. We understood what is the referential integrity and its importance. Let us deepen our understanding with a hands-on example.